What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the farm. Thanks for joining us. So we recently put out a video a couple days ago talking about what animal you would raise in a survival situation. The amount of comments and the amount of feedback we got on that one, it was pretty fascinating. We had a lot of fun with it, and it really started to make me think the amount of engagement that we are getting from some of our viewers on some of these videos is just, we're having simply just a lot of fun with it. So I've also learned that amongst this audience, there are a lot of you guys out there that have a ton of experience with this stuff, far more than definitely myself. So today we're going to do it a little bit differently. We are going to ask for your help. I'm sitting here with the pigs here behind me right now. We just fed them dinner, and full disclosure, mainly just to keep them in the camera so you can see what we're talking about. But we got some good news. The good news here, Betsy, our sow, she is bred, and we are expecting a litter of piglets pretty much any day. So I would say within the next few weeks, for sure, she's gonna be farrowing piglets for us. So while that's certainly good news, we're definitely faced with a little bit of a dilemma here. We need to make a decision as to what we want to do with the future of our pigs. If you guys are not familiar with what we're raising here, these guys are American Guinea Hog and Hampshire crosses. Anybody that has any background in pigs is going to know your American Guinea Hog and your Hampshires are going to be on complete opposite ends of the spectrum as far as size. Your Guineas are going to be extremely small. They're going to be more that of a lard pig. Ziggy's just being a bully back here, of course, on camera. Your Hampshire pigs are going to be more of that of a bacon pig. Your more traditional, what you do is kind of that meat pig. Obviously, when you start dealing with crosses, that definitely changes things up. So this is definitely not a common breed. However, it's a dilemma because, we have a little bit of conflicting interest at this point. When I first got these, to be honest, I went into it pretty blind, with really just the game plan of, hey, let's get some pigs, let's put some meat on our table. And I went ahead, I did a full video a while back, so check that one out. But in that video, I discussed, these guys have been phenomenal as far as just being friendly. They're easy to work with. If you're looking for that of a homestead breed, you're gonna get some good characteristics there. It's not something that you have to fear if you have kids, in there with them. Obviously you always gotta be careful around animals, but they're definitely pretty gentle in terms of pigs. We can go in there, really no issue. So you got that on one hand. You got size on the other hand. The size, if you're a first timer, you probably don't want something extremely large in terms of pigs. A lot of pigs can get upwards 350, 400 pounds. And that is a big animal, let me tell you. Despite all the good things that have come with this breed, the big thing for us was just the way they finished out. So I understand, they're going to take longer to finish out. We raised them to about 8 months, which is kind of standard for more of your traditional breeds. We were about 200, maybe a little over 200 pounds, which is definitely on the smaller end. One caveat to that is this year we're going to raise them longer. We're going to give them another shot here, raising them to about December, January I'm targeting right now, which is going to put them at that 12 to 13 month range. If they don't put on the size at that point, I think the decision is probably made for me. Now, I'm not also looking for something massive, but the real reason that I'm bringing this whole thing up to you guys is we're really looking for something that's going to provide kind of more of that substance, more of the prominent cuts. So as you can imagine on an animal like this, a Ziggy just does not fool it. Calm animals, guys. So as you can imagine with smaller animals like this, you call it your pork chops or even your belly, for bacon cuts, you're just not going to have the size to that stuff as probably what you're used to and what I was used to. The meat was phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but when we're looking to kind of expand this a little more, it's things I have to start thinking about. My ultimate goal here is to, raise a handful of animals like we're doing now and kind of sell off some excess, whether it's going to be, halves or wholes, or whether I'm going to sell live animals or whatever we're going to do. We want to sell something that's going to be marketable, that people are actually going to want. So with these guys, I'm just not sure that the end product is going to be what people are really accustomed to. And it's a shame because I think a lot of times there's so much out there, especially with these small homestead type products The quality is definitely superior, but people are so accustomed to, larger chunks of meat or whatever it is. I am still looking to raise whatever breed we get at a very high quality. We're not looking to turn commercial on you by any means. These things are going to still be pastured. As you see, they're kind of tearing up the jungle right now, but we are looking for something that's just ultimately going to grow out a little bit quicker for us, put on a little bit more size. Feed cost is a huge thing. And I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but we're getting our feed for essentially free in a lot of regards. So I can, again, backtrack to these guys. I can grow these guys out longer. It's not going to impact our overall cost too much. But when it comes down to, I'm raising a pig for 12 months, 13 months, and they're only going to be 225, 250 versus a hog that I can produce 250, 300 pounds in 8 months. Obviously there's a huge difference there as far as feed conversion, just overall efficiency of your operation. If you're going to continue to run breeding cycles, well, now you're going to have so many more pigs by running them longer. And obviously the feed input and stuff continues to raise as you do that. So those are things that I'm just kind of spiraling through my mind right now. So I guess what it really comes down to and what I'm asking from you guys is, what pig breeds are out there? What's working for you? What would you not recommend? Some good, some bad, some ugly. We're all ears for it. Anytime you guys drop us that stuff, I'm sitting there like a sponge, just absorbing it all, trying to learn as much as I possibly can about this stuff. And I believe that's, the most important part of all of this, all the homesteading, all the small scale farming. Just continue to learn, continue to adjust and figure out what's going to work for you. Again, these guys definitely worked. I mean, they're phenomenal. And I'm not sold we're getting rid of them. I'm just kind of at that point where we really should make a decision because, again, we're going to have piglets here. I am almost, well, we'll call it 95% sure that when she has these piglets and they're weaned, we're going to actually sell them off, being that we have 6 others here that we're growing out. So, that being said, if you're interested and you're in Eastern PA, we may have some homestead pigs for you. Now that I just told you why we want to get rid of them, come buy my pigs, right? But no, in all honesty, guys, these pigs, I mean, they have been great for us. And who knows? I raise them out to 12, 13 months, and they grow up to be a good size at harvest time. I might backtrack all this. We might keep these guys. You never know. It's just all these thoughts that are kind of running through my mind as we're planning. It's only the end of July. I understand that. But before you know it, August is going to fly by. Now we're talking, planning for fall and heading into winter. And you got to have a plan when you're dealing with these animals. Obviously we have 8 pigs here. So, we're not going to keep these guys forever. That's the reality to it. And if we're going to run another breeding cycle, we got to plan for that accordingly as well. And if not, well, then we're going to have some extra processing. So all things that we're considering. Again, I'm really interested to hear what you guys have on this one. I'm going to leave it pretty short tonight, more so just asking for your help. So please drop us some comments, drop us what your thoughts are below, and we will be happy to hear from you. We'll be happy to consider what you guys got. Maybe we'll do a follow-up on this one in the near future, depending on kind of what you guys are throwing our way. And hey, who knows? Your suggestion could be the next step on our farm, so we would certainly appreciate that as well. So anyway, guys, I know. We've rambled, we've spitballed a lot of ideas and thoughts your way. I appreciate you sticking around and at least trying to follow me a little bit. The mind is definitely turning. The gears are always going. That's, hey, that's life on a farm. There's always something going on. We got so much going on here as far as the different animals, the pigs, the sheep, the chickens. We just actually processed 50 chickens this past weekend. For a lot of reasons, I didn't go ahead and video it. We were just very busy, wanted to get the job done. We did 8 turkeys as well. Next batch, I promise I'll get you guys more of our chicken processing and that whole operation that we do. It will be a larger batch as well, so it'll be pretty cool. So stay tuned for that one. That'll be, a couple weeks out yet. But the summer's rolling on here. We're moving along. We're always thinking forward. And until next time, guys, we appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your night.